Okay, I guess we are. So welcome to the webinar of Speech and Language Technology major at Aalto University. My name is Mikko Kurimo. I'm the head of the major. And then we have here Lauri Juvela, who's another professor, and maybe Tom Backstrom if he has time, and then my Myyn Nguyen, who is a second-year student. I can tell first about myself. So I'm leading the speech recognition research group, where we deal with large speech models and train recognition systems for low-resource languages. And we also develop self-practice tools for second language speaking and audiovisual models for speech recognition and spoken conversations.
Yeah, that's me, Lauri Juvela. I'm leading the speech synthesis group. Classic text-to-speech is what comes to mind first from text-to-speech. I'm also working more generally in deep generative models and teaching a course on that topic. What I'm currently working on is watermarking and deepfake detection, kind of security features for generated speech content. And also I'm working on neural network architectures with differentiable digital signal processing methods.
Thanks, Lauri. Is Tom Backstrom here?
Tom has another meeting as well. I promised to say a few words for Tom. He's working on, his team is speech interaction technology, and his research focus right now has to do with privacy, trust, and ethics in speech technology. His background is in speech processing on the edge of speech coding. He's working on real-time, low latency models, and now also user interface design for speech technology, so human-computer interaction stuff. And
okay, thanks, Lauri, for speaking for Tom. And then I think Myyn Nguyen will present herself after we have been talking about the studies. So I encourage you to make questions in chat so that we can answer, and also you can make audio questions after the presentation. So what is Aalto University? So Aalto University was made as a merger of 3 universities about 15 years ago. So it combines technology, art and design, and economics. And it is ranking high in several international rankings. In Finland recently moved to number 1, and also globally near the top 100. Aalto campus. So as I said, we are connecting 3 fields of study in the same campus, creating a multidisciplinary student community. We also have modern learning spaces for independent work, laboratories, studios, and workshops. Places for students, affordable student housing, guild rooms, event venues, sport facilities, saunas, and much more. We also have restaurants, cafes, shops, and metro station, and so on in the campus. So the metro connection to downtown Helsinki is just 10 minutes, so it's pretty close. Here you can make a virtual tour in the campus area using this address, virtualtour.aalto.fi, to get to know different places. So it's located in a peninsula next to a nature preserve on the left. So about the studies. So we are part of master's program in Computer Communication and Information Sciences, CCIS, which is one of the most, or maybe the most competitive master's program in Aalto University. And what we are representing here is the major of Speech and Language Technology, SLT. So why to come to Speech and Language Technology? So one point is we have very strong research orientation with top-level research groups by the professors. And we are doing the teaching and supervision for your studies. And also your studies can be quite well personalized to your own interests, which may be a bit unusual among the other universities. We also present a unique combination of machine learning, speech, and language processing. So we can say that here the machine learning meets the real world and tries to understand human communication and speak with human. And finally, we also offer quite attractive career opportunities in Finnish and global ICT companies. So even though the job situation is not that great at the moment, but in this field, there is really many big companies and small startups competing with the graduates. So the program structure of your master study. So it's a 2-year thing, 120 credits, consisting of compulsory, optional, and elective courses. The compulsory courses include machine learning, speech processing, speech recognition, natural language processing, so about 35 credits. And then the optional courses, if you take a longer major, you have less optional courses. If you take a smaller one, you have more. So we have lectures, exercises, and also many group works and individual projects. And you can also do internships and thesis in industry or aalto research groups. Here are the compulsory courses, so the 35 credits, starting with machine learning and speech processing, and then going to more applications, speech recognition, synthesis. And then we have a seminar course where we go to the introduce some latest topics in the area. And then on spring, we have the statistical natural language processing course. Here are some examples of the optional courses that we recommend you to take. So there is signal processing and more machine learning, especially the deep learning and deep generative models courses are very good courses to take. So what is speech and language technology? So you may already got an idea by looking at the course names. So this deals with speech recognition, synthesis, translation, and language modeling. Also, voice search and privacy of language are important. And also what the voice can tell about the speaker, so the health, language skills, origin. So it combines machine learning, signal processing, and modeling of human communication. Here in Aalto and in Finland, we have excellent research facilities. So we have the Aalto's own supercomputer, Triton, which has recently been extended. And then we also have access to the IT Center for Science in Finland that hosts the Lumi supercomputer, which is Europe's most powerful supercomputer. Oh, there is a typo, so it's at the moment still Europe's most powerful supercomputer. Some years ago, we prepared the Lahjota Puhetta corpus, which is a large speech collection of speech in Finnish, consisting of over 250,000 donations. So we can say that the spoken Finnish now is uniquely covered for research and AI development over all languages in the world. And together with radio and television archives of the National Audiovisual Institute, we have created very large speech models of over 15 years of recordings that can be used for AI applications. An example of what a student can do, so the recent master's thesis by Nan Fan, who is now doing a PhD in the group. So he developed computer-assisted pronunciation training mobile applications for the students who are now studying Finnish. So it detects mispronunciation and gives feedback how to improve speaking. About internships and career opportunities. First thing that you probably realize that if it's very competitive, then you will meet excellent students coming from all over the world. And it's a large master's program, so there are all kinds of signal processing and computer science areas represented. Then Aalto has a support for careers, career design lab, career events, fairs, training sessions, internship grants, mentoring program, and so on. And here is just a short list of industrial collaboration that Aalto is actively doing, also with other top universities in the world. Okay, maybe if Mu is ready, you can present yourself now.
Yeah. Hi everyone. I'm Mu. I'm second year student in the STL program, and I'm here to share my student story, what it's like to study in this program. So first, let's start with my studies. 2 weeks ago, I have finished my master thesis where I applied, thank you, machine learning to assess privacy risks in transcribed speech. This thesis was funded by the collaboration larger project between Aalto University and the city of Espoo. We work on trustworthy conversational interface for immigrant integration. So it was a bit fast. You don't have to pace that fast. But usually before the thesis, we do the course studies. And for me, I see that it has a lot of focus on speech part. But the best part about it, as Mikko has said, that you could choose your own path. You could do machine learning, deep learning, or you go into digital signal processing or mathematical modeling, or you combine 2 or 3 of them together. And about the study structure, I chose to study long major. And it's in its required studies, 4 out of 6 courses are project-based or have some sort of project during the course. And I think that's a very, very, very valuable thing, because when you graduate or during the time when you study and you search for internship, you can use that as a portfolio to show to your employers. If only you're seriously about your studies and can explain well what you do. And a personal note from my own experience, I didn't have a study in machine learning before the program. So for me, be ready to put a lot of effort, and it pays off very well. It doesn't matter if you choose which path. Yeah. And then about the career opportunities, you can start building it right on the campus. My advice is that check your university emails often for the teaching assistant and research assistant positions. They are a great way to get started. And also internships and thesis collaborations, either in research groups or in industry, is a bridge for you to get your first job for many of students here. Yeah, it doesn't matter if that is a way, not usually, but oftentimes it is what I observe, whether your goal is to be in the industry or to do your postdoctorate study, graduate study later on. And then looking beyond the university, the job market is definitely growing a lot of interest in this field, but it's quite specialized. So you need to be proactive and follow the industries, follow the companies that you're interested in, and be productive, learning about their tech stacks. And then, but also you don't have to do all of this alone. There's a lot of events, there's a lot of supports from the university career design lab, and more organizations in school can support you with that. And finally, that the time here in Aalto is much more than coursework. There's a lot of clubs, guilds, and events for all sorts of interests. So if you're interested in debating, DJing even, or just electronic tinkering, 3D printing, entrepreneurship, everything. So all the information is online, and usually all of the information will be available in the first week of your study. But if you already want to look at it, you can just search Aalto hobby clubs on your browser, and you're going to find them all. And this brings me to my last note is remember to have fun. It's not just about study. It's beautiful here. We have the location of Aalto is really great to take a look around as a bird observatory, right? And so yeah, be proactive, work hard, and make sure to have fun. So that's my experience, my story. Thank you.
Thank you, Myen. Thanks for sharing your experiences. So how to get here? So the admission information. So here is an address where to look. And the application period is once a year, I think starting very soon. And instructions and tuition fee scholarship requirements you can find from the web address. And here are also some email contacts where you can get answers to your specific questions. Okay, I think this was the presentation part. So I think now you are free to ask also on both on chat and audio.
Yep, I see some attendees here at least. Like, don't be shy. You can unmute your mic or just ask in the chat.
Yeah, don't be shy. This is for you. That's why we are here. Maybe I can ask a question from Outi, since she probably knows when the application period is starting and when is the deadline.
Yes. Hi everyone. I'm Outi Väisänen from the Learning Services, and the next application round it will start on 1st of December and end on 2nd of January. And if you apply now, the studies will start in next end of next August. So we have the application round always at the end of the year, and then the studies always start basically at the end of August or beginning of September. And all the information about the applications can be found from this aalto.fi/n/admission services website. And if you have any questions on those, you can send us email to this masterselec@aalto.fi.
So thanks, Outi. So the period is relatively short, only 1 month, so you have to act quickly when the period starts. And when do we approximately give information about the results of the period, whether you got accepted or not? Or is it in April or? Just
a moment, I will need to check it.
Roughly.
The admission results are published on 8th of April, 26.
Yes, one question from the Q&A section. What are the residence requirements? Do you have to be on campus for the whole year?
Okay, now it came. I don't see the question. Did it came only for you?
It's not on the chat. It's on the Q&A tab.
Okay. Who's going to answer?
Who knows?
Yeah. So the from the learning services point of view, the studies are planned so that you should be on campus at the time when the courses are going on. But of course, there are these summer break and so on, but kind of everything is on site on the campus.
Yeah, I suppose you can make trips abroad, but
Yeah, of course.
I think for the residents, you need to spend most of the time here, I guess. Then it's counted for the residence time.
Yep, I think I can add to this because I went through this process. The requirements, it's going to be a list. So but luckily everything is online and everything is very detailed in Finland. For example, here I send you the link to the resident permit website where you can see all the requirements. Yeah, just follow that. And I think the chances are you're going to be just fine, like 99%. Just follow that. And about, do you have to be on campus the whole year? Yes. No. Yes, and because the best experience is that you listen to the professors, you got to chat and you got to network with others. And that is one way, is to find out what you might be interested in or what it's like to work and everything. So I think that's a good thing if you are on campus. Of course, you don't have to be the whole year. We take breaks and go on holiday, sometimes even like in winter time or something like that. Like after you're done with your exams, you could go somewhere also. It's not a big deal for that. For me, is that now that you don't have to reapply every year anymore, you just apply it once and it's going to run until you're done with your study. So, yeah.
Yeah. A lot of the teaching that does not have mandatory attendance. So yeah, there's flexibility in like attending lectures or just kind of submitting exercises. And it's kind of mostly hybrid compatible, but of course I think everybody gets most of their time by being here. So yeah, attendance recommended, but not like strictly required. There's flexibility to it.
Yeah, but to be fair, because of how great the facilities are, that you have a chance to do a lot more than just study here. We're just not going to nature looking, but you can also even build your whole startup here. We have a huge entrepreneurship culture here in Aalto. So if you're interested in that, if that's convinced you to come to campus, yes, hopefully. But yeah, I highly encourage to be studying on campus.
Yeah, I still have plenty of time for more questions. All right, next question. If you obtain the master's and then get admitted to the PhD program, can you finish your PhD a little faster? Okay, how I read this is like, is there a kind of research track that with like combined master's and PhD? And the answer is not really. There's some overlap in the courses that you can include for the PhD. But yeah, first you have here you have to complete a full master's degree before starting the PhD program. I hope that answers the correct question.
Should I jump in again?
Yeah.
Please.
Yes. Because I think what he meant might be, for example, like me, I study a bit faster, so I finish it earlier, right? So I can graduate my master earlier. So I think that's possible.
Yes, and I think it also helps to get a position for PhD if you do the masters here, compared to if you do the masters elsewhere and then try to seek a PhD position here, because it's quite much professor based here. So you need to know the professor to ask whether you can get a PhD position. So if you do a master's, it will help you kind of get networked and get to know what is done here.
Yeah, that's very much true. It's like most of my PhD students are kind of I know them beforehand from either master studies or other studies at Aalto. Yeah, so that's a kind of a natural way to continue to an Aalto PhD program is to do a master's here. Yeah, I guess questions are like popcorn. It's like once there's no more new questions in a while, then we can call it done.
Yeah, I suppose we can let Lauri go to do your work, and also Mu. I can stay here, keep this open if somebody has questions while I'm eating.
All right. Thanks for everyone. Everyone, I'll get on to my next meeting. Yep. Nice to see you all.
Yep.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.